Mike, what's our first topic?
So first topic, we're going to go ahead and give ourselves a special shout out to Asbury Park Press. Asbury Park Press featured us in their online article showcasing different scary events happening in the tri-state area between Manhattan, New Jersey, in kind of a top 4. We made it to number 2 behind Bane Haunted House, and number 3 there was Fright Fest that you could see at Six Flags Great Adventure, and then there's 4th place, the Eastern State Penitentiary, a real popular haunting spot here in Pennsylvania.
Well then, that's a lot to swallow. So the photo that you have on here, Mike,
Yes.
What is that from?
That's actually from the article. I believe that is from the Bane Haunted House.
Okay, that makes sense. So we're sort of friends with Bane. Jennifer and her husband have visited Trapdoor locations before, and
Oh, wow.
so really kind of cool to always have a camaraderie. And as a lot of people know that watch the show, we almost built a game at Six Flags Great Adventure.
Did we really?
Yeah. It's always kind of fun to hear different names brought about. But really cool that we've got a relationship with one of the companies. We almost worked with another one of the companies. And then Eastern State Penitentiary is always really known as this mega event for Halloween.
Absolutely.
But how freaking cool that Cure Z is number 2 on this list.
Absolutely, one of the coolest things, and it definitely deserves to be there too. I think it's one of the creepiest escape rooms and just experiences in Pennsylvania as it stands, which is a lot because Pennsylvania is home to a lot of supernatural things and just scary in general.
Yeah, I mean the what's awesome is and I think this is an upcoming topic anyway, but there's that element of PA is known for zombies because of George Romero, which I know you wrote a topic about, but I don't want to jump too far ahead. We'll stick to this first. But a little bit about each place on the thing. Bane Haunted House, they had a couple different places to hold their hat. And they were in New Jersey for for pretty much I think their entire career until recently. This year marked the first year that they are officially in New York.
So this is the first time they're actually in New York? Okay, that's awesome.
Yes, thanks for the repeat.
Yeah, no problem.
There's so much of an echo in here. It's amazing. But no, they opened up a massive facility in Manhattan.
That's got to be great for business, though, with the population, especially just kind of in general in Manhattan, as opposed to all of New Jersey.
Well, really cool too is I noticed the other day Jen posted on her Facebook page they have a massive digital billboard in Times Square.
Oh, that is excellent advertising.
So I don't even want to know what that costs, Jen, but let me know.
We'll put it on the wish list.
Manhattan is an area we're looking to get into at some point in our ventures, so that would definitely be a way to make a splash, especially with Escape Stream. That would be amazing too.
New York, we're coming for you
one of these days. And then obviously Cure Z. Now, the interesting element here too is that Cure Z, I don't think it could have made this list when it was in Red Bank. It didn't. It didn't make the list when it was in Red Bank.
Truthfully, I don't know much about the Red Bank location other than instead of just being a 2-hour experience, it was a 2-floor experience.
It was, but even still, its size was a quarter of what it is here.
Oh, wow.
We're in Cure Z right now, matter of fact.
Being joined by the lovely Ava.
Yes, Ava is also a member of the broadcast today, apparently. But and pictured is Cure Z with Trapdoor's very own hiring manager, Chris Murphy, actually pictured in that photo in the center on the keyboard. We had, when we opened it, most of the team didn't play it or know much about the game, so they all came out and played, which was really cool.
It's always great to have the people who help build the game and work for the company play test it, because then you get the real honest feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much larger, but even so, it's not the size of a full-fledged theme park.
Oh no, of course
like
not.
Six Flags. Now, having said that, Fright Fest is not all of Six Flags. Fright Fest is a handful of mini attractions within Six Flags.
You know, I've never actually been to Six Flags. I've had a pretty sheltered childhood.
Well, Six Flags is a pretty big deal in New Jersey. Matter of fact, why don't you go take a peek real quick and see if Chris Murphy is still doing an interview, because Chris used to work there.
Yeah, I'll go check real quick.
Because if he isn't, we'll bring him in. And suddenly I'm alone. No one but me. Hey there, camera. Very interesting, I guess, piece of that puzzle with Six Flags is that, the whole park is definitely decorated for it. But, hey, Chris.
Hello.
Oh, I thought you'd be interviewing.
She's not here yet.
Oh, well, that answers that.
Everyone.
So, well, there you go. Now you're on camera.
There you go. Cool.
So, Chris, we don't have a nameplate for you because this was kind of not, immediately in our plan book. But since you worked at Six Flags, Mike and I, which Mike, you're not even in camera.
Oh, here, let me go ahead and just
scoot over a hair there.
There we go.
All right,
There you go.
Cool. Get comfy.
Now I got you.
Get real
Will.
comfy.
There you go.
Move over a little bit. There you go.
I don't
Okay. I just pushed them into
Yeah,
their
right.
spots. Get in there. Basically, Asbury Park Press put together an article, and they had stated top haunted attractions for this year to visit, and it was 4 attractions: Bane Haunted House, Cure Z, right here in the Poconos,
There you go.
Six Flags Great Adventure for their Fright Fest attraction, and Eastern State Penitentiary. Now, Chris is actually there he is. Chris is our fairly newly appointed hiring manager for Trapdoor. He brings in all of our new recruits, trains them for their positions, and he also used to, once upon a time, work for Six Flags Great Adventure. He's Six Flags alumni. And you worked at Fright Fest.
I did. I started 2012, actually, the 2012 season. And every year from then on, I was part of their setup, takedown. They kind of get you in makeup to become a character. Worked my way up to supervision. So each section, they have like little sections. I don't know for anybody who's gone to Fright Fest. There's zombies and stuff walking out on the streets, of course, scaring you. But then there are upcharged trails that people have to pay extra money to go into.
That's mean.
But I mean, like, they do get fairly great reviews. So the last 2 years I worked there, I was in charge of one specific one. So kind of worked my way up there. But
Which
it is
specific
popular.
one?
It was called Aftermath. This last year I worked. The year before that was called Wasteland. So 2016 Wasteland and 2017 Aftermath. For those of you, for anybody, whoever is watching, if you happen to recognize any of those trails or me, shout out. But yeah, so it was pretty cool. It was very intense. Not only working as an actor, but also running it too. I had a team of maybe, I want to say 16 ghouls. Half of them were minors.
Wow.
So yeah, it was tough at times, but it was an experience to say the least.
Any crazy happenings that ever took place in any of those?
I have gotten hit before, and not even as
Whoa.
a character.
Oh my
not
God.
even as a character. I was protecting one of my characters, one of my ghouls. It was a minor too. So the minor got pushed and shoved. It was one of these nights later on towards the end of October. It gets very, very, very popular.
Right, you're closer to Halloween.
Yeah, way more crowded at the end of October, and it was a Saturday night.
Ooh.
So people were just ruthless. And one of my minors got pushed. Won't really mention any names, but she was a little freaking out a bit. So I had to go to the exit, because usually that's where you go. You meet up with your security guard, you handle the situation, and I got shoved out of the way onto the exit with this guy. And security, of course, caught up to him, but there was a whole big altercation, and there was a bunch of stuff we had to fill out. And Jackson police even sometimes are there.
Okay.
It gets that crazy. Luckily, my incident wasn't that crazy, but I mean, like, I'm not even an actor and you're pushing me. So, like, this guy was just so mad that we were accusing him of pushing one of the ghouls, and like she had to come out and say something too. It was really awkward.
What do you think is the best attraction at Fright Fest?
Currently, honestly, I really want to say just walking around. Really, I mean, granted, not knocking the trails, and because I mean, upcharged trails, they're good. That's why they're upcharged. But even just to be able to walk around and see everything so diverse, different sections. You have a section for clowns and games. Then you have a section out in the back of the park, which is kind of like a western area. You get to see everything. If you're like a true Halloween junkie, you'll love just walking around too. You don't necessarily have to go on rides or go into the trails, but just the overall ambience of everything, I feel like, is what makes Fright Fest so popular. Right. And of course, people like getting the shit scared out of them, of course. You know,
you sold me.
Jump scares.
I'm gonna have to go to Fright Fest this year. My first time ever.
Yeah, it is worth it. I mean, if you're gonna go once throughout the whole year, wait till October. Wait till Fright Fest.
Okay.
Just because you still get to go on the rides and stuff, but you have that amplified.
I have not been in a while, but I do remember. I mean, we used to go. We used to get the season pass and go a few times a year. But I always remembered that Fright Fest was the easiest time to get on the real rides.
Yes.
Because everyone's
especially at night.
Walking around doing the
So the
Fright
lines
Fest
are
stuff.
so small.
And the lines are much smaller.
More towards the end of the night when everything starts to really happen. They do have daytime Fright Fest, which isn't like the monsters aren't out, but all the decorations are out. You have character shows. I dressed as a mummy. So in a daytime show, I was a mummy. It was like a giant white tuxedo with what I'm pretty sure it was like beef netting to make it look like cheesecloth, and there were just strips of it all over, all the way down. So that was very fun.
Is that your profile picture on Facebook?
It is.
Okay. I thought it sounded familiar.
Well,
That
now you know what to look for.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.